All the sounds need to stop so I can talk. Or maybe I don't care. Jiggle, 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 jiggle. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to do a weekly love reading completely on the fly. I'm just going to see what Spirit has to say to you guys. Ooh, the first cards jumped out. Very interesting. You have the Four of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. See how he's like looking off? Nothing's happening. So we're starting off with a guy who's holding back. He knows he's got the Midas touch. This is the guy who could turn anything to gold if he wanted to. He's grounded, he's mature, but he can be a bit controlling. And he can hold information back. Even though he's got all that gold, and he can turn anything into gold, he's looking the other way. He's looking the other way, kind of being stubborn, holding on to what he's got. Whether it be information or his feelings or whatever it is, like he's holding back. Past tense. But out of a fear of missing out on his situation with his divine feminine, now this could be male or female. But this person, this guy with the Midas touch that was holding back, started to feel the pressure of that. I have so much I can offer this situation. I know that I could really, be there for my divine feminine. It was keeping him awake at night. It was maybe giving him nightmares. Maybe he was dreaming about her, and he'd wake up and he'd be like, do I keep holding this stance and ignoring and looking the other way? Or do I go forward, turn the other direction? See, he was looking that way. Now he's finally like, he's like wanting to rush in and talk to his feminine, it looks like. Because he just wanted to get some sleep at night. He wanted some peace. So I think what I'll do is just like randomly pick some cards here. In the meantime, she was working on loving herself, is feminine. She or he was working on loving herself, being grounded and mature, finding things to do in quarantine, looking at her gold. The gold can be symbolic or literal, perhaps. But really, she's, just sitting there patiently waiting for spring. Spring could also be symbolic of, new beginnings, just patiently, loving herself as best she could through this time. And then you have him looking the other way. And then when he starts going forward into communication, there he is. And they both have a coin. So they both are feeling abundant. Maybe I think what drove him forward, what finally drove him forward was that they both came to a place of loving themselves. They both came to a place of feeling abundant and feeling like with one another, they could actually be really mature, strong, and grounded and solid together. Like they were a power couple. And they together could build something strong, a strong foundation, not built on sand, but built on, a strong foundation where they could actually get some sleep at night. So here he is charging forward. Dun, dun, dun. He was having, I think what he realized was he was sabotaging himself, that he was having this like internal struggle of kind of you know, being a martyr. I feel like he was being a martyr for a bit, or just doing the typical thing he does and runs away, you know, or like when the going gets rough, stick your head in the sand. Or, you know, maybe he had like, this guy's got like a bunch of people there that are all like thinking something different. So he had to get to where he could not really care about all these other people's opinions and not really care about how to make everybody kind of chill out. Is like that people pleasing thing. Like, look, everybody, like he was trying to be like the mediator between everybody. Like, look, here's what I think will be best for everyone. And he tried to reason and bargain and do all this stuff with all these contradictory opinions. And those contradictory opinions could be the devil and the angel on his shoulder, or like what he's done in the past, or the voice of the past of the ex, or getting through the ex, or, I mean, it's just like limitless things that he was doing that's pretty typical of him, basically. So he took a look at those self-sabotaging things and he started to turn that around to, all right, okay, yeah, so there are some problems here. You know, we have a distance issue. We have a difference of belief systems. We have a difference in culture. We have a difference in background. We have a difference in, like, there's all these differences, but how do we figure out a way? How do we figure out a way through this? How do we find some solutions? How do I learn and grow from this experience? Because he's been feeling like inspired by his feminine. We were talking about like her being somewhat of a muse or something. It's like her love and her maturity was helping him figure out, like, maybe I'm done with my self-sabotage. Maybe I don't like this anymore. Maybe I don't like living for everybody else and making everybody else happy. Maybe I'm going to figure out a way to see things new, to see things from a different perspective and actually like grow as a result of this experience, because he couldn't get his mind off of her. You know, she, the feminine, made him feel like a little kid again, pure and innocent and sweet, and brought him back to like how he was when he first loved a puppy or a kitten or a neighbor kid, you know, like sweet and innocent. You know, it's brought him back to that, away from all the conflict he's had. You know, as you know, when you get burned and you get older and you have all this stuff happen to you, you tend to get your defenses up and you tend to get easily rattled and triggered, and all that stuff started falling away with this love and being tortured with this thought of his feminine and wanting to reach out to her and offer her some kind of an offering for peace, or like, want to go play inside? Like, it's like that castle's right there and they can just go play, you know? So he had to get past that, his own self-sabotage, to just, you know, want to go forward and make up for lost time, you know, like going very quickly toward this person that he has this really sweet connection with, and just go play with her. Just go play. So he's overcoming, he maybe had to overcome a third party. But whatever it is, whatever demons he had to face throughout this time, it's like he's celebrating now because he's had victory. He feels like somewhat accomplished. I did it. I overcame, and now I'm in celebration. And when you're in celebration, what do you want to do? You want to go rushing back to that which makes you feel like home. So he maybe overcame drinking. Maybe overcame like being a player and sleeping with lots of people. Maybe overcame, you know, we were talking about that last collective reading, had like, he actually overcame 3 people that were pretty bossy over his life. And maybe he got really, you know, beat up and bruised over the, you know, those 3 people always bossing him around with all these opinions and things. And now he's overcome that and he's going to really go for it. This is like being in that last stretch of a marathon and really, you know, getting a second wind to just really blow through the end. And that's this guy right? He knows maybe he feels like it's his last attempt. If I don't do it now, I'll never do it. So he's just like making a go at it with this in his mind. He's faced his fears and insecurities for a new start, to take a risk on a new start. He's really taken a good look at his feminine has lit up his world. The feminine is represented by the moon there. And, oh, that's funny. I just noticed the dogs are howling at the moon, just like a lot of people around the country right now are howling at the moon at 8 o'clock every night to have that like just united feeling. And he's maybe he heard the call, maybe he heard the howling from where he's at, you know, in his own way. It's like his heart was singing. He was like, oh, that's my tune. That's calling me home. I just keep feeling this calling, being called home feeling. So this is also like getting away from that third party, or like, you know what it is too? It's like subconscious fears and insecurities that came up for purging, that he was able to finally get over and see the truth of the situation. That's one thing I like about Byron Katie's work, is that you take a look at those subconscious fears, or maybe even not even so subconscious, but, you know, he took a look at those fears and he really saw what was underneath it. Maybe he thought, you know, some guys, when they were acting like players, like sometimes they actually convince themselves that that's a good way to be. like, oh, it's because I'm so this or so that, like the ladies can't resist me. But I feel like this is a moment that they came to, whatever the subject is. It's a moment he came to where he was just like, you know what, I was doing that because I was insecure. If I really, really admit the truth, it was because I was scared. And they knew that. But now he's just like, I'm free. Now that I've been able to say it and can just admit it, that that's what I was afraid of, it makes me feel more empowered. It makes me feel strong. Like I can charge forward and speak my truth to that sweet person that's been waiting for me, you know, so gently and loving herself like she has. So he's gotten up the strength to go for that dream he has for them. He's also like been daydreaming and thinking of how they could build. I just got the word inheritance, like build their, build their fortune, build their fortune together. And I don't mean fortune necessarily meaning money, although this is a money card. It's more like tangible material things. But really, I just feel like it's abundance, like just like a plethora of things that make you happy, and activities that make you happy, and things that you can go do that really bring enrichment. I feel like enrichment to both of your lives. You know, her like sitting there as that queen of Pentacles is that woman in the picture dressed in white, like taming the lion, the beast in him. And now that he's feeling tame, he's feeling strong, he's feeling soothed about his insecurities. He's admitted things, you know, that have come out of hiding. He's wanting to come out of hiding. He's wanting to come out and maybe even tell his truth to the world. And it's due to her petting his head like this energetically and giving him the confidence to feel like he actually can have his dreams come true. I think for a while there, he was really doubting. He was really thinking that he can't have what he wants. Other people can have that happen, but that's just an unheard of miracle that like never happens. That can't be for me. So he cut through all those illusions. He took a good look at what's in every cup, every option. He explored all his options and really got down to the heart of the matter, got to loving himself. He picked out the best cup for him, the most harmonious, peaceful cup full of self-love, the one that would signify as being a lotus, having been if you study lotuses, they go through the mud all the way down to the murkiest, grossest water. and they stay down there like at night, and in the morning they pop back up brand new, and they're so beautiful. It's like, how is that possible? They're not even dirty. Like they go into this pod, and then they go down deep into the murky stuff, and they come out like radiant. And that's this. This is a brand new beginning in love that stems from self-love. And then this is him cutting through all these different illusions. And it's like, it also him, like, is this just a daydream, or is this actually something that can happen? But here it's saying it actually can happen, because this is tangible. This is stuff that actually happens in the physical world, not just in your head. So this strength that he's gotten from her, from watching her, or from knowing her, or from talking to her, or just maybe, I even feel like some of these feminines have had really good boundaries with their masculines. And it's really helped him cut through the confusion. And it helps him feel like he can have victory going to that next level with her. Once he admits this, and then it's like this is also a marriage card. It's going to the next level, living together and just having victory in it's like a celebration. It's closing a chapter of your life also, and beginning a new one where you're celebrating that you've got, like, you're pulling together the like-minded community, gathering like-minded people around so that you feel supported and you can continue to nurture this energy. You know, you can trust these people, the people around you. You're building a like a Garden of Eden with your love, forming kind of a pillar of strength amongst all of you, being there for each other in a genuine way where you guys can all really trust each other and build on that foundation of truth, authenticity, and honesty. He had to go inside for his inner worth, and he had to really concentrate. You know, he had a lot of illusions going on, and he went inside and he listened to his intuition, and he got really honest with himself. And maybe he had to get honest with himself about the karmic. The Queen of Wands represents the karmic for me. So maybe that's one of the things. Maybe he had to really admit to himself the reasons that he was with that karmic, and they were the wrong reasons. Or maybe she was with him for the wrong reasons, or both, and it wasn't really love. She's looking at him all worried over there. Look at her looking at him with his well, yeah, he does have a wand, doesn't he? I never noticed that before. But she's like looking at him over there going like, what's he doing? Uh-oh. Oh, shit. And so he's over there just taking time for himself, loving himself, nurturing himself. He's got that little star in the lantern, which is his divine feminine, ultimately, that same woman who's soothing him in this picture. She's now in the lantern. He's reflecting on her and how she's kind of soothed his soul. And he's like, this is what I want, not this. She's like, but we have power, but we have, this. We could have all this money together. We could go, she had all these dreams and things that she wanted to have happen. And he kept going inside going, do I want that? Do I really want that? Do I want to be stuck with this forever? And this was most likely like really superficial and selfish. She's fiery, and she's like, she wants what she wants. Kind of narcissistic, or like we were talking about, like psychopaths and sociopaths, and like last week's messages from Spirit, the week before that. She had some secrets, and she didn't want to let that cat out of the bag either. Or she was trying to act like the things that she was keeping secret were good things. Like bad things were good things. She was trying to confuse him. She was the one giving him confusion in this picture. Well, what cup is what? I can't tell what's good and what's bad anymore. Like, is the dragon the good thing, or is the head in the thing a good thing? Or is maybe the wreath is a good thing? I'm so confused anymore. Like, I don't get it. Because she just had a selfish agenda. And she started really kind of freaking out when he started, withdrawing and getting smart. But because he went inside and discovered his self-worth, he was able to see this situation for what it was and get away from it and call it for what it is. That's a bad thing. that is a bad thing. Don't try to tell me it's a good thing. It's a bad thing. And you're selfish and all you want is gain for yourself. And I'm out of here. So he withdrew from that situation to go rushing to his feminine and speak his truth. He's like, I know my truth now. I know it took me a minute, but I know my truth now. So he's like rushing in to like make haste is what I just got, make haste. So he's coming to bring her in from out in the cold. He's like he kept her locked out. Maybe she even had a kid or kids. He feels really bad because he went inside that church with his karmic and was all warm and toasty in there with her. And then he felt a pricklies with that karmic in there. He's like, this is awful. All I think about is my feminine being out there in the cold and the snow without any shelter or any supplies or any warmth. And she's the one that I love. Like ultimately he figures that out. If I would just feel worthy, then she could be in here with me instead of this karmic making demands and stuff. So he would often reflect in that church with her out there like, okay, I guess I'll stay out here in the cold. Guess I just have to accept I'm never going to be warm again. And limping along. And he's like thinking about how he's left her out like that. And then he's thinking about her naked. And he's thinking about this bright future that they could have. And how wonderful it would be if they could just express their feelings for each other and heal this thing. She was his like star, pointing him home too, like the lighthouse in the dark. He made his wish upon the star that he could heal things with her and just get to that vulnerable point again that they once felt before with each other and heal the situation, come out of the dark, come out and shine bright like the sun he knows he is, and be like the baby, like innocent and pure and fun and giggly and silly and believing in things again that he stopped believing in before because the karmic was saying it was bad or whatever, the bad was good and the good was bad in that situation. He's seeing with more clarity now. The sun has lit the sky up and he's just like, there are no shadows in my life now. So now he's going to come open up the door and call her name and just be like, come on in. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You have both of these cards. When you see nakedness in the cards, it's about authenticity and vulnerability. So what's the end result for these guys, please? Well, because of his love for his feminine, he's gotten rid of that karmic person, and now he's going to bring in a nice, fresh, lucky chapter for himself. He's going to express his love for his feminine, and he's going to become single. If he's already single, then he's just wrapping that cycle up and making sure that the insecurities or the remnants of insecurities that she left behind are all cleaned up and healed so that he can now express his love as a strong and independent, autonomous, single person that can now believe again, who can believe again, and then go express his feelings and offer that cup to his feminine, who he also puts up on a pedestal and has been a secret admirer of for quite some time. And he's going to be offering her cup out of nowhere. She's not paying attention to him at all. And then here he comes kind of sneaking up on her, and he's going to be like admiring her for a moment and then walking out of the bushes and being like, that awkward moment. That awkward moment. I've been watching you for a while now, and I'm sorry about the whole karmic situation. And I've kept my eye on you. And she's got the 9 pentacles there, and then he's got 1 cup. So that makes 9 pentacles in a cup. So that's 10 complete somethings. And the 9 coins is like, maybe the basis was financial. Maybe they both had to feel independent financially or something. Maybe had to feel, maybe they just had to feel abundant in their own worlds and in their own way in order for this cup to be the final piece that puts the whole puzzle piece together. Just the expression of that love, that one cup right here is this Ace of Cups, a brand new beginning in love that stems from self-love. They both had to learn to love themselves and stand autonomously in their own lives and become single and free. And then they can bring peace to their relationship by sharing their hearts with one another. So, okay, what can I tell these guys? He's coming out of hiding and he's going to take action, basically. He's totally determined, he's passionate, he's purposeful about his feminine. And he has broken away from someone. He's broken away from the lies, the deceit, and the hiding. And looks like he might try to surprise you. He's strategizing on how to surprise you somehow. Pop out of those bushes and be like, here I am. So, yay. Hope you guys enjoyed that and have yourselves a beautiful week. And if that resonated, I will go do the extended version now. You can click the link below to go get that. I do a light language blessing for you, as well as giving you some oracle cards to give you further guidance. Okay, have a beautiful, beautiful week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Hey, if you like my videos, please share, subscribe, and set your bell notifications on so you'll know the moment they come out. Also, don't forget that you can go to my website and order a personal reading at amysatori.com/services. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day.